What's up, guys? How you doing? This is Philip Start again, and in today's episode I've got my books again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Java Servlets and JSPs, and that is a wonderful book by Mike. Hopefully you can see Mike there. And I hold this book very close to my heart. Why do I hold it close to my heart? And why am I even talking about it? It is ancient, it's very old. What year is it? Let me see. I think it's like, it says 2008, so yeah. Today it's 2018, so 10 years old book. Why am I reviewing it? Why would I recommend it? Well, as I said, I hold it close to my heart. So my first real job when I was in university, I had to do a year out working with a company. And when I went into that company, of course, not everything's new. There's new applications running, nice shiny things. And there's also older applications that maybe just be equally as important to the ecosystem or to that company. And I got to work on a mixture of these. And one of the first things I noticed was in the older applications, it wasn't just running with Spring and doing magic stuff. They were using older technologies, and one of them was actually built on raw Java Servlets and JSPs, and it was running in a Tomcat container. I didn't have a clue what this was at the time. I thought that's a cool cat. That's how much I knew about Tomcat at the time. And I said, what the heck is a Java application deploying into a cat? What the heck? And I quickly learned Tomcat, yeah, it's a server, it's a container which you build your artifact, which is your Java application, deploy it in, and then it serves requests and responses. I said, cool. I want to know how it all works. I want to know it all. I don't want to know about it, I want to know it all. So I tried to find a book that would learn or teach me progressively everything, and that's when I came across this book. So first thing I wanted to learn was, what does Tomcat really do? This book covers that. It tells you how to install it, get it running. Traditional installation, it's not going to be an embedded one, but it's going to be there. Next thing is, what's a JSP and what's a JSTL, Java Standard Tag Library. It quickly tells you how to create nice wee pages and how you can use JSTL for dynamic content, and instead of actually embedding Java within your JSPs. It then proceeds to create the likes of servlets, which will be able to handle your HTTP request and HTTP responses, and I was able to quickly figure out how I could do this and return content back to the user, and how from reading this book I was able then to understand the applications that I was working on, production applications, quickly understood, okay, this is the backbone, this is how they work, this is what they're built on, and this is the main logic of the system plugged in between the framework that actually does the requests and responses. And then they said, okay, how does security work? Thinking about filters, learned about filters, it covered all that. Authorization, authentication, denying requests, accepting requests. I then learned about listeners. When the application starts, we want to respond to an event. When it shuts down, we want to respond to an event, and all that good stuff. And then I thought, well, how does it remember users? How does that work? Well, then I started learning about cookies and sessions and how you can do all that in the Java API. So this book was really my beginning book on how I actually learned Java Servlets and JSPs, and this really led the progression to the likes of myself learning Spring, and then learning Spring MVC, and then learning Spring Webflow, and then learning Spring Boot, and now moving on to kind of non-blocking and serverless based architectures. And so this was really the first step to getting on board all this. As many developers now, they come in and they're just using Spring Boot. They don't actually know what the hell is going on behind the scenes. Well, I kind of like to know. You don't need to know majority of the time, but I need to know myself. I'm that kind of guy. So I know that when I do this in Spring, well, it's actually, if I'm using the HTTP server that runs on Tomcat, it's actually going to be doing this and changing this. And I can kind of follow the path down. And it also means you can open and start getting involved in open source projects that are built on top of the core Java Servlets and JSP kind of technology, if you want. Or not so much JSP, but Java Servlets API. So that's how I kind of kickstarted my career. It helped me, it showed, I was able to show some initiative to get started there, and I was able to then, bug my colleagues and say, hey, what about this, what about that, and really start delivering features as a placement or intern pretty quick in legacy-based applications. So I That's what I'm making this video on. I recommend that if you're a beginner to Java Servlets and you want to kind of know how the core behind the scenes, kind of how does it work, and you're curious, maybe you're a curious developer or just want to learn something new, I recommend that book. I got it for about £20 sterling. I don't know how much it is now. That was a long time ago I got that. But if you enjoyed this video, the next one I'll be doing will be on probably Spring in Action, maybe Camel, maybe even Netty, or one that I liked and I worked a lot with when I worked in a corporate IT environment, which was migrating to cloud native application based architectures, where you used the anti-corruption layer out of this book in real life to actually build a anti-corruption layer, hiding old legacy systems, which allowed our application to scale and kind of pull bits out, and it's a whole other story which I will describe in the next video. So make sure you subscribe to these series, and I will see you in the next episode.